Coach Joe here. I am coming at you with the importance of tracking our food today. So, number one, we're just gonna get right into it. When you're looking for your desirable outcome, which will either be weight gain, weight loss, or maintenance for most people, tracking calories is gonna be the most important thing you can do to try to control this. If you're eating in a caloric surplus, you'll gain weight. If you're eating at a caloric maintenance level, you'll maintain weight. If you eat at a caloric deficit, you're gonna lose weight. Now, a lot of people, again, hormonal stuff aside, which will affect your metabolism, not the fact that eating less calories will help you lose weight. Hormones aside, this is super important to have a grasp of in order to reach the goals you're trying to reach. So, another thing that tracking in our MyFitnessPal or whatever nutrition tracking app you're using that's important is you want to make sure that you're getting the proper nutrient amounts. So that goal that we go over, that we set in our meetings, or that the InBody app has been setting for your challenge, that is going to give you an ideal amount of muscle gain versus fat loss, which is going to be good for everybody. And also helps you gain muscle more proportionally than perhaps if you weren't getting as much protein or whatever the nutrient that maybe you were lacking was. The problem with not tracking is that a lot of people will estimate calories. And, you know, if you've been tracking for a long time, this is something that you could probably get away with for a bit, but eventually you're gonna kind of get a little bit lazier. You'll add a couple extra grams of peanut butter on a spoon or something like that, right? And eventually that'll add up. So a big example that I think really resonates with a lot of people is something that I heard growing up too. A lot of dietitians are always like, oh yeah, make sure you're eating your nuts or like your almonds, whatever, right? And if you look at a serving size of those, it's like this much. And you'll see people grab them by the handful. And it's about 150 calories for this much. So if you're having a whole handful, you might think, oh, that looks like about the size of a palm of your hand. Weigh it out. It'll probably be close to 450 plus calories that you're just grabbing per handful. And people eat 2 or 3 handfuls. So you're eating up to 1,350 calories in just 3 handfuls of nuts, which is not gonna fill you up, right? So we gotta make sure we're tracking to keep an accurate amount of calories that we're getting in. People will tell me all the time, I'm coming in, I'm eating 1,200 calories. You're not gonna put on eating 1,200 calories unless you got some serious other issues going on, in which case we'll have to, talk to a doctor about that. Chances are. Your calories, people tend to underestimate by up to like 70 to 90% in some cases. So really, just track for a week, 2 weeks. Feel out and realize, wow, I'm not reporting that, okay? Another good example is, talking about peanut butter is a good example. People will grab a tablespoon and they'll fill up that whole thing and have a mounding tablespoon. You're looking at 200, 300 calories on that one tablespoon that you just grabbed, even though it says 100 per tablespoon or whatever the serving is, right? You're not eating 1 tablespoon. You are grabbing a heaping tablespoon, which may be 2 or 3 servings. And then you'll throw 2 of those heaping tablespoons on a sandwich. That's 600 extra calories. We got to figure out where we're going wrong. And it could be dressings, anything. There is a way to weigh them out. And it is vital to your success to weigh them out and figure out where we are making our tiny mistakes. That's our tricky foods as well. Finally, some quick math to kind of highlight how important really tracking is. If you're underestimating how many calories you're eating by only 100 per day, 100 compared to your goal, you will put on 10 pounds a year. And to compound that even further, if you're eating 500 calories in a surplus per day, you will gain 52 pounds per year. 52 pounds. So chances are we're underestimating a good bit if you're putting on 10, 15 pounds a year and you feel like you can't lose it. So something that we're gonna need to do is, again, track and realize, hey, if I'm trying to lose 50 pounds, eating, 500 calories deficit or 1,000 calorie deficit goes the other way. It'll take 26, 52 weeks to get that 50 or to 58 pounds off. But that's the only way it's gonna come off. There's no like magic pill, no magic fix. We gotta track, we gotta figure out where we're going wrong, and then we can really sit down and figure out a meal plan for you. Otherwise, you're just gonna keep coming in and saying, oh yeah, like I'm not losing weight, even though I'm eating super healthy, and I can't seem to lose the weight. Chances are you're not tracking, or you're not grabbing every single thing and weighing it out. Seems like it's obsessive, but if you're doing it for a little bit, you'll realize, oh my gosh, I am overeating a ton more than I thought. Hopefully this was helpful. If you have any questions, just let me know.